welcome to Rizzo Sports Weekly. Thanks for joining us here mid-October, live from downtown Katanning, Family Life TV. Great to be here. Thank you for watching. A lot to talk about. We got a sports artist on the show this evening. We got a lot of high school sports. You can call in, give me a call. Love to hear your thoughts on that. Katanning making a push for the playoffs. This is going to be tough. We got Fort City coming up in 2 weeks. We have the league championship series in baseball. Poor Dodgers, man, they could be leading 3-1 instead of losing one, or it could be 2 games down. Poor Dodgers, my team, but oh well, not this year. Looks like Philadelphia team to beat. And hey, Tampa Bay could sneak in there and beat Boston. They're up 2-1. They play tonight. We got Penn State 6-0. Oh, Penn State people are predicting national championship. That's great to hear, but, Pitt's there too, 5-1. Pitt, they play Navy. Navy gives them some trouble. We'll have to see. But, lots to talk about high school football, college football. There's a lot going on. Love to hear from you. Give us a call. Steelers are off to a great start, and the Penguins have opened up their season. Once again, 724-545-2323. Open phone lines. We're live downtown Katanning at Family Life TV. Tonight, my guest is Larry Clue. He's a sports artist, local sports artist. His work is tremendous and getting better with each object he's painting. And I think you're going to really like the guest tonight. Different take, but it's great to have the guy, talented man here, Larry Clue. Larry, thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it. I got all your works of art here. A great Heath Miller ball right here, and we can get into that in just a little bit. You brought a lot of artwork, and that's great. Gives me some objects to show. Nice. Thanks for bringing the stuff up, and like I said, thanks for coming up to the show. Well, Larry, you're a sports artist. You're a local guy, but how did you get involved? I mean, you painted Heath Miller, you got Heinz Ward, you got Roberto Clemente on a baseball. What made you decide to get into to doing this?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for having me on the show. Thank you for all the kind words. I really appreciate that. As far as getting started, it was probably a childhood dream of mine that kind of got pushed to the side sometimes as things develop in your life. And I'm a school teacher full time, so I went through my course of study to become a teacher and kind of put this on the back burner, but got back into it more recently, and kind of a unique story, kind of a funny story the way it turned out. My lovely wife is a waitress and works very, very hard, and it was on my son's birthday, and she took a bad spill at work, and she was laid up for a while. I had to take a few days off from work, and while I was caring for her and listening out for our little 3-year-old, I put the pencil to paper again, and that was about 2 years ago, and ever since, this is what I've been doing, and it's something that I really enjoy. It's a passion, and hopefully someday it'll become a full-time gig for me.
All right, well, Larry, it looks like you're off to a great start. Now, you brought some footballs, baseballs. You brought me a picture. Now you're working on a helmet. What type of objects do you paint on, and what type of athletes and who do you paint?
I'm thinking lately the more unique the piece, the better, the more interesting, the more appealing, because there's so much sports art out there. You see a lot of paintings, you see a lot of drawings. I figured it would be neat to try to paint on some memorabilia type items, because that's so popular nowadays. And I started with the footballs, had some success with these, and figured I'd branch out a little bit. Try the baseball, a lot of Visine to keep that going, eyes a little red, and you have to get kind of detailed, so I sometimes steer away from using brushes and use other things like toothpicks, needles, anything to give me a real fine tip to do my work. And this is a work in progress here. This is the first helmet that I've attempted. I'm actually going to have the honor of meeting Heinz Ward and giving that to him on his show really, really soon.
So I bet you're really excited about that.
Oh, tremendously exciting. Met Mr. Pompiani a while back in the springtime. He invited me onto the show. He's a class individual, as you are.
Well, I don't know about that. I have a lot of people who might dispute that, but
you're up there with Pompiani. That's the truth. But just looking forward to hopefully good things happening with the artwork and with the website and whatnot.
Okay, well, talking with Larry Clue. He's a local sports artist. And Larry, first of all, your website, I wanted to get that out there.
Sure. It's larryclue.com. You can find me on the web, put together by a good friend of mine, Mr. Jason Heffer, and he kind of acts as my PR man, and he's a good person to have in my corner, and I'm achieving a small amount of success because of his kindness and his hard work, so I really appreciate that.
All right, well, 724-545-2323. It's open phone line. You have a question for Larry or a topic you want to talk about, local high school sports, Ford City football, and Freeport soccer. Congratulations, Freeport. Both the girls and the boys soccer team qualified for the WPO playoffs. But whatever you want to talk about, open phone line, of course, 724-545-2323. Well, Larry, I wanted to go in a little bit more detail about everything that goes into a piece. Now, here's this Willie Parker football right here. A nice piece here you brought on the show for us. How did this come about? How did you decide to paint, first of all, Willie Parker? Where did you get the picture? And how long did it take you to paint a piece like this?
When I choose a player to paint, first of all, it's a player that I admire for what they do on and off the field. So Willie Parker, runs real hard, fast Willie, does a great job on the field for the Steelers. I saw that picture in the newspaper, saw him showing the double by, and thought to myself, there's a guy that's truly excited about, what he does for a living, and I thought, that would fit perfectly on a football, and I went for it. That ball took about 40 hours there. Was lucky enough to have Willie sign it, and hopefully I'll get to do one personally for him. He was kind enough to write me a note that he wanted me to do one for him. So hopefully down the road I get to fulfill that wish.
Now you've painted. You got some footballs. You brought a nice Roberto Clemente baseball. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's a little bit smaller detail, but it's a great piece. And a lot of big baseball fans, a lot of Roberto fans in the audience. I know that for a fact. Now you got a helmet. You also brought me a nice picture here of Hines Ward that you did. So which items or what do you paint the most of? Is it pictures? Is it balls? Is it helmets?
It has gone back and forth. I did a lot of original drawings. Like I said, a couple years ago is when I got back into the drawing. More recently, it's been the footballs and the memorabilia. I was lucky enough to be able to do a football for Mr. Rooney. I was in his office this summer. So I've spent the better part of the summer and the fall working on footballs and the helmet. So.
All right. Well, 724-545-2323. We're talking with local sports artist Larry Clue. Give us a phone call. It's larryclue.com, right? Your website.
Correct.
And you can check that out. But I have a question for him. I have a player you'd like to see painted. Maybe Larry would love to hear that as well. Well, Larry, you got to meet Mr. Rooney, and I believe the word on the street is your football is in the Heinz Field right now, in the Great Hall at Heinz Field.
Correct.
How did that happen? And is that exciting to see? Your football, it's in Heinz Field, the home of the Steelers. It's probably a big thing for you.
What an honor! What an honor! What a thrill to meet him. Again, good friend of mine, Jason, put that deal together. Mr. Rooney was kind enough to invite us down to the training facility. Was thrilled with the ball. Enjoyed the likeness, I take it, and offered to put it someplace special, and that someplace special ends up being the Great Hall, and it's awesome that 60,000 people see it every time the Steelers have a home game or the Pitt Panthers, and I have received a lot of feedback on the ball. The Steelers were kind enough to put my website next to the actual football itself, so people from all over have contacted me. I received an email from as far away as Fort Myers, Florida, if you can believe it. So, hey, what a thrill. I mean, it's just, I can't explain it. It's to be there with Dan Rooney, the head of the Steeler Nation. It's you can't even explain it, man.
I absolutely believe it. Then that's great. You're getting people now all over the country starting to take notice. Now, this is Heinz Ward. You told me this is the first helmet you've painted. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And is it difficult to paint on a helmet? And how did you go in and really set this Heinz Ward up? How did you figure out you got a couple poses of them here, and you got some things written on the helmet? How did that all come to being? And it's not, you say this is an unfinished piece.
This is unfinished, absolutely. This is about 40 hours in. This is about 40 hours in. There'll probably be at least 20 more hours work that I'll have to do on the helmet. You know, when you start a project, for the centerpiece, I absolutely knew I was going to do that. I love when he takes a big hit and stands up and he's still smiling, so I knew I had to put that picture there as the centerpiece. After that, the project just kind of evolved, and when I see, you know, a likeness that I think will work real well with the collage, I go with it. It's a little story with the fans who obviously are not done, but I'm going to kind of put people in the stands there that are special to me, my family, you know, my beautiful wife Renee, my son Jake's in studio with me tonight, and I have a sister Joni who has been just nothing but supportive with my art career, and it's just a small way to say thank you.
All right. Well, sounds good. We're talking with Larry Clue, who has a great story. He's a local sports artist. He has a lot of great artwork. You're checking it out here on Rizzo Sports Weekly. Of course, we're live here at Family Life TV, downtown Katanning. There's a lot to talk about in the world of sports. I'm waiting for your college football picks as well. Didn't do so good this past week. There were some big upsets, and who would have thought Missouri going down, and look at Texas beating Oklahoma. So that was a big game as well. And of course, Penn State 6-0. Everyone's pumped up about that. Well, 724-545-2323. We got some Steeler talk. I'm sure Larry would want to talk Steelers with you. Give us a call. We're actually going to take a commercial break. Be back talking with Larry, talking some more sports art when we get back here on Rizzo Sports Weekly.
Allow me.
Put it on my tab. I just made partner at the firm. I can afford it.
So what do you do?
I'm an inventor.
What did you invent? This ought to be good.
Well, I invented this. Just don't push that button. Let me show you some of my other cool inventions. Have a new idea or invention? Call 1-888-54-IDEAS for free information.
Growing your own garden can be fun, but it takes time. That's why I go to Foodland, where the produce is always ripe. Just a quick walk down the produce section, and I can have all the fruits and vegetables I need in no time without having to spend my time growing them. All the produce is at its freshest and ripest for you. Convenience, so you can have what you want when you want it. The quality of the produce is the same as it would be if you grew it yourself. That's Foodland in West Katanning.
See this little card? It means big savings for you. Every purchase you make rings up points and earns you all kinds of things.
The Kling & Smith's new VIP card. Please stop by any one of our locations and fill out our instant application. We'll hand you your card on the spot so you can start saving right away.
Our new VIP card. It's free, it's fun, and it's downright neighborly.
Only at Kling & Smith's neighborly drugstores.
Tune in to Family Life TV on Friday, October 17th at 7:30 to watch the Ford City Sabres take on the Borough Bucks live at 7:30. So if you can't make it to the game, tune in to Family Life TV to watch it live at 7:30. Only on your local family station, Family Life TV.
I'm trying to hit on everything.
Hi, welcome back. Rizzo Sports Weekly. We're talking with Larry Clue, a local sports artist. He's got a lot of great pieces. He's happy. I'm happy that he brought those up here to Katanning to show us. And I got some photos, some paintings you're working on. This is a work in progress, you tell me?
Yes, sir.
Of
Fast Willie.
Yeah, there's Willie Parker there. And there's a interesting piece. He says the very first one you ever painted, Roberto Clemente.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, absolutely. Why did you pick Roberto for your first one, and how long ago was this?
That was in 1989. I was 19 years old. Early on, I thought I was going to teach art. So I did take a few college classes, and that was a piece that I had done as part of one of the college classes that I had taken. My wife kind of steered me in the elementary ed direction, and that's what I do now. I've been teaching at Kiski for 10 years, and it's been a wonderful time. But I'm that piece is very special to me because it was that's actually an oil. That was the first oil I had ever attempted. So, and hey, who doesn't love Roberto? I heard the stories. I'm the youngest of 8. I have 2 older brothers who are just class individuals, and you know, they were good athletes, and I grew up hearing stories about the great one, and hey, I figured, what a guy to paint for your first piece.
Sounds good. And here's one of Sidney Crosby. I have a lot of local hockey fans, so there's Sid the Kid. Not a kid anymore now. He's 21.
No, no. He's legal.
There's Sid. And, well, Larry, I wanted to ask you, and here's Jack Lambert football as well. Piece of his famous, the famous Jack Lambert pose right here.
Right, right.
I wanted to ask you, what type of paint do you use? I don't know if people can see, you know, at home, but it's real glossy. I didn't expect it to be as glossy. What type of paint do you use?
These are acrylics, and you know, they're fun to work with, yet they're challenging to work with because they dry so quickly. You know, I'm kind of figuring things out as I go. I'm mostly a self-taught artist. I have painted in oils before, but I find that the oils take so long to dry that I just prefer the acrylics. And you know, sometimes I'll squirt out some paint on my palette and it'll dry it before you can even use it up. So it's a challenge that way, but they look real nice. And Brother Frank works at PPG, so he recommended a sealant for me. It's a UV resistant spray. It's an enamel, and it's non-yellowing, and it does a good job at sealing off the piece and preserving it for many, many years.
All right. Well, 724-545-21 or 2323. Geez, I'm so excited. I'm forgetting the phone number here tonight. But lots to talk about. 545-2323. Give us a phone call. We're live downtown Catania Family Life TV, and of course RizzoSports.com for all the latest. And I'll put a link to Larry's site. That's Larry Clue, KLU.com.
Correct.
And Clue's not your full name. It's I'll butcher it. So what you have your name here, and you said it was.
It's Klukaszewski.
Klukaszewski.
Klukaszewski, yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So I'm sure everyone will now you have a piece of football of Dan Rooney in Heinz Field. Where in Heinz Field is that? Because I know there's a lot of season ticket holders here in Catania. They go down all the time. A lot of guys who love going down.
Right. It's in an area of the Great Hall known as the Fan Stand. It's close to Gate A on the main level. And if you go over there, there are a lot of really unique items given to the Steelers, donated to the Steelers. And it's just real interesting. My pieces from as far away as the soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's just, you know, what an honor to have my ball there with all those wonderful mementos.
Well, let me ask you this, Larry. Can someone, are your pieces of art for sale? You know, can someone purchase them? And I would take that because I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, can they get some of these items somewhere?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. They're for sale. These items here on the table are spoken for. Some of the prints that you've shown are for sale. The Clemente ball is up for grabs. You know, I'm looking to promote myself to a wide range of customers, you know, anywhere from the professional athletes down to the amateurs in high school. I know there's probably a lot of high school players out there that would love to have themselves memorialized on a ball. And yes, sir, very much interested in doing work for others.
Well, let me ask you, when did you realize, well, hey, I'm good enough now that, you know, people would actually pay for my work? Was that your original thought, that you wanted to design memorabilia, or you just wanted to paint as a hobby?
That was not my original thought. It was a hobby starting out. Like I said, early on I had aspirations of becoming an artist. Kind of put that aside for a long time. Like I said, my wife was laid up. I started doing it again, and the passion was rekindled within me. I was kind of timid. I was kind of not real confident about my ability, being self-taught for the most part. So it took a lot of encouragement from family and friends to say, hey man, you're good enough, maybe you should start doing this. So I got myself involved in some small craft shows, memorabilia type shows. I did a show at the Mills back in the springtime, and you know, I got enough feedback from that show that I knew that, you know, I could probably start doing this and making some money at it. And yeah, that's my hope, to get it bigger and better each and every year. And like I said, my wife has worked so hard for 20 years as a waitress, as a server, and you know, I really would like to start by replacing her income, and then who knows after that, sky's the limit, hopefully.
Well, absolutely. It looks like you're off to a great start. Once again, 724-545-2323. If you have a question for Larry. Larry, I'm sure a lot of people want to know, who was your favorite athlete to paint? And there's a particular piece that you like the best. And is there any person you really want to paint that you haven't had an opportunity to paint?
There's several. There's so many. I mean, I go through a Sports Illustrated or the newspaper, or I see pictures on TV. I mean, there's so many ideas that float around in my head, and I sometimes don't wish for more money. I just wish for more time, because there's so many projects that I want to do in the future. As far as a favorite piece to date, there's so many. I mean, I enjoy all of the pieces. I really like the Heath Miller. I had the pleasure of meeting him a few years ago. He came down for a benefit basketball game at Kiski area, and just to see him interacting with the kids, and you kind of get a feeling for the type of person that he is. He's first class. You can tell he cares about others, and on the field, he's, you know, I always tell my son Jake, no, there's an athlete that you want to pattern yourself after, because he plays the game hard, you know, and he's a wonderful ambassador for the game. He plays hard, and he's good for the community. He's good for the team. I mean, he's a first-class Steeler in my opinion.
Good.
So I have to say that's one of my favorites.
Okay, so there it is. I mean, there it is, the Heath Miller football right here. How about that? Looks really cool. You got the nice Heath logo there. How about
Right.
that?
That's from the Miami game where he set the record for longest touchdown reception by a Steeler tight end.
And you have it noted on there.
Yeah, Charlie Batch was the quarterback.
There you go. Well, Larry, I'm not going to let you leave the show until you give me your Steeler prediction for the season. Obviously, you're a big fan. Now, are you excited at the record here, or what do you think?
Absolutely. I think anybody would take 4-1, you know, at the bye week, and you got Cincinnati on the schedule here with no Carson Palmer. I heard that was official today. He's not going to play. I'm going to have to say they're going to eat Fitzpatrick alive, and you know, tough schedule down the road there.
We got a tough schedule coming up.
I'm going to say 13-3. They're going to win the division, and we'll keep our fingers crossed after that.
We got the big meat of the schedule coming up.
That's
we actually got a phone call. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Got a quick question.
Okay.
Does the guest need permission from these athletes to do their paintings? Thanks.
Okay. Larry, do you talk to the athletes beforehand? Do you have to get permission, or?
Well, I haven't, you know, had the opportunity to be commissioned per se by an athlete yet. I hope that comes to pass. With the fact that I was down in Mr. Rooney's office and he saw the Steeler logo on my ball, I mean, that was a concern originally. I took it as, you know, a blessing from the head of the Steeler Nation that I was okay to go ahead and do this type of artwork. As long as artwork is original, you know, it's a statement of expression. You know, I don't have permission, so I guess the answer is no, but if I am offending anybody, I sincerely apologize. I'm producing the pieces to honor them, to commemorate wonderful experiences, and I sincerely doubt anybody would have issue with that.
No, absolutely. I think the callers just, you know, wanted to know, you know, how they got on the ball, and that's an interesting thing. Is there one athlete out there that you really hope would? What's your dream? If, say, this athlete comes to you and says, Larry, I want you to paint me a football, baseball, hockey puck, whatever. What's your dream athlete to do that?
I have two.
Okay.
Troy Polamalu, you know, a warrior on the field, but a gentleman off the field. Christian man, would love to do a piece of him. I will someday. I have done a piece. I have an original of Polamalu, but I would like to put him on a ball. And there's a second. This is kind of a strange story, kind of a unique story. I don't know if any of the audience out there would even remember this individual, but like I said, I kind of had a dream when I was a kid to become a sports artist. When I was 12, these were the lean years of the Penguins, mind you. I don't even know if you were born yet. You're a lot younger than I am. But I want to say this was 1982, and the Penguins were a terrible team, but they had an outstanding goalie named Michel Dion. He was a Frenchman. And he had a really unique mask. I don't know if anybody remembers that. One of the first hand-painted masks, because they airbrush them nowadays. His was actually hand-painted. And I did a drawing of him. Not a very good one. Still have it. again, my older brothers have been so instrumental in helping me through my life, and my older brother Frank helped me mail it to him. We mailed it to the arena. He even copied it for me in case the picture never came back.
Right.
Several months later, Mr. Dion wrote back to me, autographed this picture, and you know, thrill of a lifetime for a young kid. And I've always said if I would be lucky enough to cross paths with him, I would do a piece for him. I would paint whatever for him, free of charge, just to say thank you for that wonderful experience that I had when I was a youngster.
Well, it's a very interesting story, and you know, we're almost out of time. Larry, well, first of all, thanks for coming on the show. Your artwork is phenomenal. I hope everyone got to check it out. He brought a lot more. He brought a lot more pictures. And his helmet, I hope Heinz will probably surely love it, I'm sure.
I hope so. Stay tuned.
That's coming up pretty quick, huh?
Yeah, we haven't received an official tape date yet, but stay tuned. There'll be news on my website.
And there's your website, LarryClue.com, for everyone out there who's interested. And Larry says he's doing some high school athletes. Anyone, any piece, I'm sure you can get in touch with Larry, and he'd love to hear from you, love to hear your thoughts, and possibly do some work for somebody out there. Hey, I'm Mike Rizzo. Thanks for watching. I wish everyone a great evening. God bless. Talk of the Town next. RizzoSports.com for all the latest. Take care, everyone. See you next week right here on Family Life TV. We'll talk Fort St. Catharines next week, so make sure you stay tuned next week. See you guys. This is great stuff, man.
Hey, thank you.
Enjoy the show.
Appreciate that.